Hi, hello, how's it going? This is Ronaldo Hernandez, and today I'm back with another video called Why Myofascial Release and Stretching Was a Waste of Time. Disclaimer, I want to say I'm not a licensed individual. I'm not a medical professional. I'm just a man with experience with the topic on hand. Don't forget to like, comment, and share the video, and don't forget to subscribe as well. What else I gotta say? Oh, Merry Christmas. Today's the 25th, so yeah, if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. If you don't, well, Merry Christmas. Alright, so let's get to it. So, um, I'm going to first explain, I'm going to first share why myofascial release and stretching was a waste of time from my experience, and then I'm going to explain why. Now, from my experience, at first, I thought it was helping. I mean, it did kind of ease the pain in certain structures that I was dealing with. I mean, that didn't make sense. It did help ease the pain wherever I did have pain in my body. But the thing is, though, I noticed also that like I feel like things never actually got better. Like, if anything, it was kind of just treating symptoms, but it wasn't really solving anything, you know. And then I remember there would be times where like I would, the more I, stretch the muscle, the more I kind of, MFAR the muscle, or you could say massage the muscle. That's basically what it is. Um, the worse it will feel like a little bit after, and then I'll do it again, and it'll just be like a cycle, and it just never end. Next thing you know, just like at the end of the day, I just, felt really bad, and I stumbled upon an article which talks about how it's a myth to release these tight muscles. And the reason why that is because most of the time people who release these muscles or de-stretch the muscles that they're stretching is because they're tight. But see, the thing is, just because they're tight doesn't mean that they need to be stretched. And the reason why is because that muscle is probably tight and weak. And when it's tight and weak, it changes everything. It's stretching and doing myofascial release or massaging the muscles is gonna make things worse because what you're doing is you're putting a stress on that muscle that it cannot handle. It's not prepared for. It's not strong enough to take on that stress. The only people who should stretch or massage muscles are, if there's like three rules to it. If it's if the muscle has a good amount of muscle mass on it, it's hypertrophy. Another reason is that it actually tests strong, and the third thing is that it has a high contractile rate when resting, which means that like if you just relax, it's so pretty like kind of like stimulating. It's kind of like it's kind of like ready to go. Now since I read that information, it really kind of just like opened my eyes. Like, wow, this is so true because from my experience on stretching and massaging these tight muscles, they would never really get better. It never got better. I felt like I was just going in circles. And mostly everybody on the internet preaches like, oh yeah, massage this muscles if it gets tight. Stretch this muscle this tight. And the reason why they say that because supposedly the muscle is overactive, which is why it's tight. But that's a myth. Depending on the case though, but most of the time it's a myth because most of the time that muscle is just weak, and the last thing you need to do is stretch and massage the muscle. You got to actually strengthen it. You got to work on it. You got to get it stronger. Because if you don't, you're just gonna, be running in circles like I was. And so, um, now in regards to that, if you do begin to strengthen like a weak muscle that is tight and weak, um, you're going to have to really start slow because, see, it might actually feel worse when you start stressing, But the reason why that happens is because the reason why it feels worse is because it most likely will feel worse when you start strengthening the muscle, is because it has a low work capacity. It has a low ability to handle any type of stress. So when you actually work on it, that's what working out is. Working out is how you actually putting stress on muscles and this and that. You're putting the stress on a muscle that it's not used to. So, when you stop the exercise or the workout, it's going to feel, you could say it's like a bad case of like soreness, like, after you work out, your muscles get all sore. Well, it's kind of like in the same kind of concept in this case. However, though, it's just that, it just feel like it's even, like, it just, like, it can't even do anything at that point. So, but however, that's just a process into like building up the muscle. You gotta like break it down, you know, for it to come back stronger, obviously. And also take in mind of like how you're recovering, this and that. But yeah, anyways, I really wanted to make this video for a while now because there's this whole like dogma out there about how, like, oh, if the muscle's tight, it's overactive, and you need to stretch it, and myofascial release it, massage it, whatever. But from my experience, that never gets you anywhere. It might help at that moment, it might feel better, but if you're not actually solving the actual issue, and this that the muscle's tight and weak, and it needs to be significantly strengthened. All right. Um. Yeah, I'm gonna just leave it at that. I don't really got nothing else to say. If you have any questions, email me at one.fastlife. No, my fault. It's onefast.life1@gmail.com. I'll put that in the description below. I'll also post the links to the information where I got this from in the description below. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment the video. Don't forget to share the video if you want, and don't forget to subscribe. Again, I do want to keep saying this, is that if you guys, kind of want to ask for help, or you guys have kind of need some guidance, or maybe you're just like wondering, like, what do I know? And maybe this guy can actually help me out in my case. Please feel free to contact me. That's why I'm putting my email below. Or if you want, you can leave a comment in the video, and I'll get back to you within 24 hours or so, depending on what I'm doing, this and that. But yeah, I hope this video helps people, and I hope that it kind of opens your eyes into, like, I wouldn't say the lies that people will tell you online, but just there's just a lot of like misunderstanding, on the internet, and I guess it's nobody's fault. I think people who try to share this information are actually doing the best they can, or they really want to help others. But there's just a lot of misinformation out there on how to, I guess you could say, solve things or fix things, just in regards to an issue, like, just, and there's just so much information, kind of like, what's right, what's wrong. But at the end of the day, I just want to say that, listen to your body, pay attention to how you feel and be aware of how you feel. And yeah, so I thank you for tuning in, and this is the Fast Life.